Have you heard about the lost land to sea in history? The land with great cultures, more fertile, advanced in technology at that time? When I say lost land masses, what comes to your mind? Atlantis, Linus, Zealandia. Well, have you heard about Kumari Kandam? A giant landmass that connects Madagascar, Australia and India. It is said to have been existed by many Tamilians. And is it true or just a myth? Let us discuss this continent in detail. About millions of years ago, the world looked completely different, where some of the country's land masses doesn't even exist. Around 200 million years ago, there was one giant land called Pangaea. Due to the movement in the tectonic plates that caused continental drift, Pangaea was broken down into two continents called Eurasia and Gondwana. After that, the plates further separated and finally formed the figure almost like seen today. Around 2 million years ago, the ice started melting and raising the sea levels and drowning some land, as well as this marks the end of the last ice age and looks like the present day. Kumari Kandam that is said to have submerged under the Indian Ocean may be one like that. Okay, let's stop this guessing game and get into the actual content. First, let us see what literature says on this. Multiple ancient and medieval Tamil and Sanskrit works contain legendary accounts of lands in South India being lost to the ocean. The reference of this landmass is noted in Iraiyanar Akapporul. It doesn't mention the word Kumari Kandam, but this literature says that there were 3 Tamil academies or sangams, and these 3 sangams were established by Pandyan kings at the Pandyan capital. The first Tamil sangam took at Madurai and lasted for 4,400 years. There are 549 poets, including Agastya. The second Tamil sangam, that lasted for 3,700 years, took place at Kabadapuram and has 59 poets. The commentary states that both the cities were swallowed by sea. And the final Tamil Sangam was led at Uttara Madurai, which is present-day Madurai, for 1,850 years overall. This literature takes Tamil history back to around 10,000 years. According to Iraiyanar Akapporul, there were 2 major cities, namely Madurai and Kabadapuram. First, Madurai would have been drowned, and after a few years, Kabadapuram may have drowned, and these lost land should have been ruled by Pandya dynasty kings for over 10,000 years. Silappatikaram states that the lost land extended from the Pahruli river in the north to the Kumari river in the south. It was located to the south of Kanyakumari and covered an area of 700 Kavatam. The modern day equivalent to Kavatam remains uncertain. And this landmass is divided into 49 territories based on 7 categories, namely 7 new sandy territories, 7 old sandy territories, 7 Madurai territories, 7 coconut territories, 7 draft palm territories, 7 hilly territories, and 7 eastern coastal territories. Silappatikaram says, Badivel erindavan pagai poradu. Pahruli yaatrudan பன்மலை அடுக்கத்து குமரி கொடுங்கடல் கொள்ள வடதிசை கங்கையும் இமயமும் கொண்டு தென் திசை ஆண்ட தென்னவன் வாழி. According to this, there might be a meteor strike on the earth at that time which rose the sea levels and caused a tsunami and destroyed the glorifying Tamil lands. Not only Iraiyanar Akapporul and Silappatikaram, but the loss of Pandyan territory to the sea is also found in scattered verses of Puranaanooru, Kaliththokai. According to this account, the Pandyan king compensated for the loss of his land by seizing an amount of land from the neighbouring kingdoms of Cheras and Cholas. The word Kumari Kandam is first found in Skanda Purana, the Tamil version of Skanda Purana, translated by Kachiyappa Shivacharyar. It was one of the Mahapuranas. The Matsya Purana, one of the 18 Mahapuranas in ancient Hindu scripts, tells us about Satyavarata, the king of the Dravida kingdom. He was also known as Manu. and he was saved by Lord Vishnu during a deluge. As per Matsya Purana, Lord Vishnu took Matsya avatar and warned Manu that there would be a massive natural disaster and asked Manu to build a boat. Manu built a massive boat which housed his family, Saptarishi, 9 types of seeds and animals to repopulate the earth. At the time of deluge, Vishnu appeared as a horned fish and Sesha appeared as a rope with which the king fastened the boat to the horn of the fish and took the boat to a safer place. There is evidence from Ramayana and Mahabharata on the capital of Pandyas getting shifted from Tenmadurai to Kabadapuram. The Pandyan capital of Kabadapuram finds mention also in Chanakya's Arthashastra. Now let us see the scientific terms. The first time scientists started talking about this land is in the mid-18th century CE. In 1864, the zoologist named Philip Sclater hypothesized the existence of a submerged land connection between India and Madagascar. The reason he thinks that way is we can find lemurs in Madagascar and India but not in Africa. But Africa is a lot closer to Madagascar than India. So he concluded that at any part of history, Madagascar and India should be connected by a giant land and named it as Lemuria. In 1868, the German biologist Ernst Haeckel wrote The History of Creation. According to him, Lemuria played a major role as a possible migration route of humans into Africa and Indonesia, and theorized that the humans originated in a land now submerged in the Indian Ocean. 1873, Henry Francis Blanford says the landmass had submerged due to the volcanic activity during the Cretaceous period. Everything in the universe has a mass. The greater the mass, the stronger the gravity. The satellite detects structures under the ocean by measuring the variation in the Earth's gravitational pull. In 2012, as the satellite passed over the Indian Ocean, something big was detected underwater near Mauritius, and the gravity data showed that whatever was down in that area is massive. Likewise, there were mountain ranges in the Indian Ocean that probably make the peak of the mountain Maldives Island after the disaster. There was a piece of evidence that there was a meteor streak on Earth thousands of years ago when the satellite captured the Haeckel crater in the southwestern Indian Ocean, which is mentioned in Silappatikaram. As per scientific records, there were 72 catastrophic events which occurred in the Indian Ocean, like the earthquake, volcanic eruption, and mega tsunami, which waves scaled from 120 meters to over 500 meters. There were only mentions in Tamil literature for 3 tsunamis, which is referred as Kadal Kol. Only 5% of oceans have been exposed there, or a lot, we don't know. With all this information, now you're going to conclude whether there was a continent or not. And if it exists, how big was it? Was it big enough to connect India, Madagascar and Australia? Or just India and Madagascar? Tell us in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts on the comment section.